Lalit ji is from Sequretek, the company that he's from the United States. We have everyone from either the United States of America or the UK. So this is a very brilliant session, and sir, I'm going to give you your microphone back again just to make sure that everyone is well seated, because we truly look forward. हम यहाँ पर आए हैं global business करने के लिए. Well friends, AI के सिवाय हम सब रह नहीं सकते हैं. It's like as important as the breath of life. I'm so sorry, but we just can't help it. So I'm going to please make sure that everyone is settled. To everyone here, gentlemen, I respect you. I understand your enthusiasm and your...
Thank you, Simran. I think Simran deserves one round of applause. The way she has been handling the crowd, definitely I haven't seen a better host than Simran. Yeah. Kudos to you. Thank you all for being here. Good afternoon. I know it's coffee tea time. Definitely grab the tea or coffee if you need, but be back, because AI is definitely one of the hottest topic and has become really hotter last 2 years. It probably may not be as much in the UAE yet, but it will come pretty fast, just like, the cloud revolution came after 2 years, but then it came very, very fast, even in the Gulf countries. And I'm pretty sure that that's what is going to happen with the AI. So my name is Lalit Shinde. I'm CRO of Sequretek. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have several companies. I'm sitting on a board of several companies. But I'm most proud of being a board member of GEC Marathi Global. You heard about GEC Marathi Global from multiple people, including our founder, Anand Ganu, in the morning. I have been part of many initiatives primarily related to cybersecurity, AI, as well as new startups and investments, because that's what I primarily do. In this session, we are going to touch upon a lot of AI in business and how it is impacting the implications, the various positives and negatives of it. We have an esteemed panel from a diverse industry background, so even I'm interested in listening to their diverse thoughts on the AI. So I would request our panelists to introduce themselves, and as a part of the introduction, this is just an icebreaker, but do talk about from your industry's perspective, how AI is truly changing the game, and where is the hype, overstating the reality. Starting with Sanam.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sanam Arora. I work in a couple of different industries, and by no means am I an AI expert at all. So my perspective here will be very much that of a consumer, because I think that's a critical voice in obviously in business, but also as an observation across different sectors. So I work in investment management, which is effectively advising global investment and asset management houses on strategy and transformational initiatives. I also work in international education, so which is around really making sure that education serves the end goals for students and for organizations and universities alike. And finally, I also do a bit of governance. So governance is an interesting one for me in terms of risk appetites, risk compliance, frameworks to make sure things like AI actually do quite well. So those are the vantage points at which I'll be coming at things. On your question about, where we've seen some really cool applications, one I think in finance, of course, is the rise of robo-advisors. AI or robo-advisors are now managing $1 trillion plus by themselves. Passive investments, which is the strategies I'm referring to, exchange-traded funds, they're nothing particularly new. But now we have the rise of robo-advisors where without human intervention, robo-advisors are managing $1 trillion plus already. So that's my money, your money, everyone's money that's ultimately being managed by AI already. And within the same firm, whereas active management, where fund managers, humans are actively making decisions about your money, how it's invested, a significant chunk of that is now being scaled up more efficiently, more risk optimized through AI. So that's one major, aspect we're seeing. In education, AI is permeating every aspect of how students are learning. And we're very happy to go into that more, but I'll let the rest of the panel speak.
Thank you. My name is Pramod Attarde, based out in New Jersey, USA. I'm a tech serial entrepreneur over 27 years. Currently, I'm a co-founder and CEO of Apex DeFi Labs. We built and product and platforms for US capital market based on blockchain and AI technology. Our focus is to democratize the capital market, and now because of the AI, we would also be getting into healthcare, and the focus is how can we democratize the education. Along with that, I am also a director on Attarde Foundation based in US, which we are like official certifying agency on behalf of the US President for Volunteer Service Award. Donated almost 35 plus ventilators and done a lot of service in last 20 years in very interior of the Maharashtra. Let's talk about AI, what AI can do for us.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Sachin Devi. I did a PhD in pharmacology, healthcare background, then data science from MIT. I'm a CEO of AIM Vision Technology. So AIM stands for Automated Intelligent Management. Initially, we thought whether it should be automated intelligent monitoring, but then we realized without management, there is no AI, no technology, and nothing. So one thing I'm going to tell you here, AI is there for many decades. We always call this predictive analytics. What has happened is because of the democratization, there is a higher computing power. And that's where I'm going to help you to come to the reality. And where do we see applications? We consult to hedge funds in the US, manufacturers. We work as a technology partner, and we tell companies or CEOs, if your vision is 100% growth, we are your technology partner, because one main application that we are seeing with AI and data combined together, there is a revolution in marketing and sales intelligence. And we see it every day in last 2 years.
Thank you to Sachin and organizers for inviting me. My name is Vikram Peshwa. I run a therapeutics company based in Florida in the US. Let me kind of start with a question. So I'm a therapeutic developer in the healthcare field. How many of you have family or friends who are impacted by debilitating diseases, say cancer or other debilitating diseases? Just a show of hands. That wasn't the response I was looking for. I think everybody that we run into has somebody in their family or friends who is impacted by debilitating diseases. Now, imagine if I told you, in future, we could actually cure these diseases. Would you believe that? It's hard to believe, right? That's my professional journey. So I work in the field in developing therapeutics, which are known as cell, gene, and RNA therapies, or advanced therapy medicinal products. And over the last 15 years, there have been products that have been approved by regulators, not just in US and Europe, but also in India, where certain cancers, like blood cancers, there are patients who are given 3 months to live, who are 15 years out with no molecular symptoms of cancer. Our goal is to treat root cause of disease, to prevent progression of disease, and in an ideal situation, be able to reverse progression of disease and regenerate lost or damaged tissue. My company currently works on using adult stem cells. Our primary indication and target is knee osteoarthritis. And what we've shown in human patients is we can not just control the pain long-term associated with arthritis, but we can regenerate new cartilage and essentially reverse the disease progression going forward. Now, when you think about this, clearly there's got to be a role for AI and ML and all of this going forward, right? Because biology is complex. And we're still at the early stages where we're still challenged by the compute power available. There is no digital twin available for a cell today. And we're trying to regenerate cells, not just cells, tissues. So clearly there's a fundamental innovation that could benefit patients' health that we are looking forward to from an AI perspective going forward. I'll jump in and talk more about it. There are challenges. So it's not all, rosy. It's not that people are going to lose their job tomorrow. As in any business, there are some science and technology, innovative, intensive opportunities where AI will take a long time to catch up because we don't understand the fundamental biological processes. We don't have the analytical methods. What you talked about, AIM, right? We don't fully have sensitive analytical methods to be able to create robust data sets to leverage it in AI models going forward. But there are going to be other processes, normal business functions, which are same across any industry. Those are ripe for innovation. Those are ripe for driving efficiencies. And so I see this as a stepwise iterative process. Call it the philosophy of crawl, walk, run, that will eventually get us to our goal going forward.
Let me make one quick
ahead,
comment.
Sachin,
Just to simplify, when he says that, okay, there is a computing power, so I'm going to simplify it very quickly. Caffeine, coffee. Caffeine molecule, you cannot put it together in today's computing power. One caffeine molecule. So when you talk about drug-drug interactions, it's impossible today, even with AI capabilities that we have. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand when somebody says there is not enough computing power today.
Thank you, panelists. I'm from cybersecurity background, so I'll give a quick example of cybersecurity as well. Today, I think the most complex example of AI is in cybersecurity. Definitely, healthcare, neuroscience could be higher than that a little bit. Just about 10 years back, the usage of AI by cyber criminals was much, much less. And as a result, the number of attacks were, more than, sort of a measurable every day, very, very small quantity. Today, there are AI being used by cyber criminals, and there are millions of attacks every day. It's just immeasurable, and the only way you can fight that is by using AI techniques. If you try to use human intelligence constantly, you're going to fall apart pretty fast. So you got to use human intelligence, definitely, but the AI has to play a bigger role. And it is a complex problem. I couldn't, agree more in many ways. So let's come to the next question. Our theme is sort of, how the AI is used currently in the present world and going into how AI is going to impact the future next 5 years. So let's talk about the present first, right? So to our esteemed panelists, can you share a specific AI success story from your industry that has had a measurable business outcomes and show the ROI, right? Any one of that.
So in the capital market, I can relate that with some of the capital market stories is JP Morgan Chase built a system called COI and Coin. Internally they gave a name where 12,000 contracts typically takes 360 hours, 3,60,000 घंटा का काम for lawyers to do an analysis can be done in few seconds now. 12,000 contracts, and that with the more precise accuracy. So this is one of the, is a big and great, current AI. Amex card, like I was reading about Amex card, like the fraud detection dropped from 26% to 0.2%. And, if you call JP Morgan Chase right now, their AI system detect your voice and try to connect you with, identify your real identity. And there are so many cases, like in UPS, help their, I was reading one of the success story in UPS was, there are 55,000 drivers, because of the AI, get the accurate optimized navigation, that saves almost $300 million fuel cost every year. So it's impacting everyone, and probably not in capital market, but also in, in other domains. Especially, I think bio and healthcare is the next big revolution is on the way. That's.
So I think in my experience, there is opportunities we can learn from other industries. So many years ago, I used to be Chief Technology Officer at GE Healthcare. And my remit was to run their cell and gene therapy division. But GE Healthcare has many divisions. They have transport, they have aviation, they have power, etc. When we are looking to industrialize manufacture of our products, we don't have enough information. But I had colleagues in aviation. So I did not know this when I went to GE. Every airplane that is flying today, which has a GE engine, is sending real-time telemetry data about engine performance. So by the time that plane lands, gets to the gate, the AI has predicted what preventative maintenance is needed on the engine in that 20-minute turnaround or 30-minute turnaround before that plane takes off again, right? Imagine how powerful that is. So we had colleagues from GE Aviation come and talk to us. How do they do this? What systems have they implemented? So there is a lot of learning opportunity for us across different markets, across different technologies and verticals to actually learn from each other. And that helped us in terms of what our objectives and our missions were in bringing the right kind of AI-based tools to help our customers in what they were doing in developing new medicines.
So, because all of you are entrepreneurs here, so I will give you examples on how to make money quickly with AI and data science. So, 2 quick examples. Money is not where you see it, obviously. Where you see in data obvious money, somebody has already copied it. So I'll give you an example. You are familiar with candlesticks charts on those trades, stocks everywhere. So I was a consultant working with a hedge fund, and I can tell you this information today because it's quite well known now. So crude oil trading data, you see it on the charts after the fact, when trade has been done. These guys always bought the satellite feeds, so you can track how is the ships, because all these are like super tankers, 1.5 kilometer long tankers, and you can spot them from the satellite feeds, how many tankers are living through the Strait of Malacca, so you know what is the supply. You can see the tankers next to the Houston, and you know what is the demand.
To at scale,
Otherwise,
reach a lot more consumers, but also realize which of your existing consumers can give you more and can give you wider portfolios of money. That's one thought I've had. And the second is, this is an entrepreneurial meet. I think the cost of being an entrepreneurial has significantly come down. Because the barriers to being an entrepreneur, the first barrier, and we define an entrepreneur as someone who can take risk, right? The cost of taking that risk has come down. You need to employ less people when you're starting something out because, I think ChatGPT Pro, for example, is $200 a month. In $200 a month, you have a lawyer, you have an unlimited amount of PhD experts across every sector at your disposal. You have a marketing expert, and frankly, you have a co-founder who will never sleep, who's always working for you. So I think just the very fact as an entrepreneur, your cost of becoming an entrepreneur has significantly come down. And I think that's just the power of AI that for me is super exciting. I think Sachin spoke earlier about, how the only way for Maharashtra or India or for the world actually to grow, and even in the global West, there is a bit of decline in global growth, will come from unleashing that sort of nascent and slightly dormant entrepreneurial capability. And I think AI can supercharge that and turbocharge that. So that's what I'm super excited about.
So many amazing examples, and this is, if you are an entrepreneur, you can relate to a lot of these things, right? Just finding co-founder versus, operational cost savings versus efficiencies built into various processes from, hiring a lawyer to, and even as an individual, doing business with the banks, if they're using AI for fraud detection, you know that there's a lot more chances that they will catch much earlier than otherwise. And these are all plain and simple examples. And even as an entrepreneur, spotting these opportunities, right? As Sachin pointed out, that example so blends well that you need to see what others cannot much earlier. And the only way to see that is through a little bit of help with the AI and your own intelligence, right? Your own intelligence doesn't go away, but you got to use the AI to your advantage, to your benefits, and so on. But AI doesn't come just with the advantages, there are challenges. And that is what we are going to talk next. So let's talk about some of the hurdles and lessons learned, right? Most of us are in the AI world for quite some time, and Sanam, I'm impressed with your knowledge already about talking about AI. In your industry, what is the toughest challenge in implementing AI? Technology, people, or regulation? And you can give specific examples as well based on what you've learned so far.
Technology, people, and regulation, and I will say none of these three. So I will tell you there are two major challenges that I face. Number one is trust. And it has been since we are working with the data. First thing is people, and I can show you lots of entrepreneurs, they could not get the sales done because other company has to trust data, and now can you trust AI? That's number one. It's a very big hurdle. Number two, which we may not think today, but it's coming, ethics. And I'm not talking about fake videos here. I'm talking about that's going to impact our own businesses, each one of you here. What you just said, entrepreneurship startup is going to be cheaper, but that's going to also come up with lots of copycats. You're going to build a software, somebody's going to feed it to Claude and say, okay, just build me the replica of this. So entrepreneurs are going to have much bigger challenges to grow, scale, and that's what we need to be ready with.
I think I can add two challenges, one from industry perspective and other from the technical challenge, and definitely data. We are starting very soon the AI education, and while studying what are the opportunities for AI education, we came across a lot of requests for doctors, for example. Why not we build a education program for doctors? And we started looking into it and found out that in India, the clinical data is not well managed, labeled, saved. So if we don't have the data correctly labeled, as you rightly said, we probably cannot train the model more effectively. So India, if we, effectively, because of the population, if we really create a clinical data, we can be the world leader, because like a population, like 1.4 billion people, healthcare data can predict many like cancer, oncology related diseases. So that's a technological challenge. I think data is one technology, rightly you said, China. And the second one is the industry problem. Since the last 3 years, the Bloomberg started talking about AI, has gone such a big hype that everyone started attaching their name as an AI. Everyone started calling themselves as an AI company or maybe an AI expert, and they're really not able to understand what is an AI. Creating a video, creating an image, or making an API call to an open AI and ChatGPT, whatever you call, that's not an AI kind of thing. So in that context, what I wanted to say is, to be specific to the India, is if we don't create a high-skilled, real-skill AI engineers, India will miss AI opportunity forever. In 1998, 96, we got an opportunity of internet and we created so many service industry. But trust me, India has underestimated, not India, Indian big IT giants, and I can openly say their names also. They were all the time just a labor contractor, building their profit and balance sheet rather than spending money on research and innovation. And now they are suffering through the tsunami, AI tsunami. And the reason I'm using this word tsunami, because in one of my speech, some of the audience came and met me and they said, no, now we understood the significance of AI. I said, what happened? They said, you use the word called tsunami, now we see, oh, tsunami means it's coming really high. So unless we have a skilled manpower and we do the real innovation and research in India, I think it's very difficult. Otherwise, we will miss this AI opportunity. One of the risk and threat I feel.
I actually entirely agree with you because I was reading this the other day. The average half-life of a skill right now, which is how long is a skill you have going to be relevant for, is 2.5 years. And that average half-life is coming down every day as we speak because we are just progressing, tech is progressing at such a fast rate. So what does that mean? It means that people, to your point of people, tech or regulation, it is people who are ultimately, unless they're skilled, not just in the hard skill of AI, which they absolutely must be, but also in the soft skills of being able to learn, being able to unlearn, and being able to relearn, which I think is the most difficult thing to do because we are not, often we're taught to rote learn. We don't even understand what we've learned fully. So what I'm trying to say here is it's a fundamental mindset shift of how do I continuously learn whatever is the new skill out there, whatever is the new tech out there, and you might even have just learned it a couple of months ago and it's already outdated, which is the pace at which tech is driving change. So I think from a people perspective, that resistance to change that is very normal to human biology needs to be something that our educational institutes need to teach us how to do, is to learn, unlearn whatever we know and then relearn it. That's one major thing. And you touched upon ethics. I'm fascinated. So I'll give you a real example. There is a company in the US, it's an AI company, which you might have come across, called Reflective. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. Has anyone here heard of it? Reflective? No. So Reflective is this AI-powered company which is effectively creating virtual avatars of your dead relatives. So, tomorrow, someone in your family dies, unfortunately, and death is a part of life. But this company is allowing you for a monthly subscription fee, because, you know, like Netflix will pay for our dead relatives as well going forward. You can actually speak to your dead relative through their virtual avatar. You can get advice from them. Hey, grandpa, struggling with this little thing, what do you think I should do? Your grandpa died 30 years ago, but grandpa and granny are still telling you what to do, right? For a monthly subscription fee, you can get this real experience or virtually real experience with your dead relatives. How ethical is that exactly? So I am struggling with understanding whether the mental health and well-being impacts that come from being able to get advice from my dead granny and my dead grandpa are better, or the fact that is it even human to be able to speak to your dead granny and dead grandpa than their virtual avatars? So that philosophical question of what does it mean to be human is being fundamentally transformed by AI. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs getting caught up in, you know, cost cutting, like AI is the only cost cutting thing. I actually think the fact that we are human means we need to inject some humanity into how we're doing AI. And a lot of classic American capitalism, which, and this company is headquartered in America as it happens, may not be able to think from that ethical perspective. And so I think, and you know, India is a land of dharma. So maybe that's one contribution we can make is bring some dharma and ethics into AI. So I think that ethics point is absolutely quite critical. But do check this company out. I've been thinking about, should I buy stocks in this company once it IPOs? Or should I raise the red flag and go, this should be shut down immediately? So that's, you know, that's the kind of questions we need to think about. And ethics and governance and regulatory frameworks are not keeping up with the pace of tech anywhere in the world. The European Union's trying to do something, but even there, if you look at the actual draft rules that will soon come into play, things like defense are entirely excluded from the applications of AI. So I think we have a lot of work to do, but I think India can take a leap in skilled manpower that understands AI, that knows how to deal with resistance to change, and actually bring some ethics into the mix.
Well, I don't disagree about the ethics component. I think with any new innovation in technology, that is always a concern that you have to put front and center, right? But let me play a little bit of a contrarian view here. So AI is not be all and end all for every application. So devil's always in the detail. If you're looking at standard business processes that you use people, think of ERP implementation or MRP implementation. You map out your process, you have legacy systems, you can go automate it. AI is uniquely positioned to be able to use those as low-hanging fruit, build efficiencies in your business. When it comes to technology, research, science, the fidelity of the data is so critical. Otherwise, you're going to be going down chasing rabbit holes, and you don't want to be doing that just because AI told you to do it. AI could be a great enabler, but there is not enough statistical data sets available to be able to rely on the outcome of AI. And so that becomes really critical from a technology perspective as you think about it. And a lot of us, healthcare, it's a heavily regulated industry. And so whatever we do, we have to comply with the regulatory framework. And that regulatory framework needs to evolve to adopt AI as we go forward. And if you think about how healthcare has existed, and one of you alluded to this, it is very fragmented. There are legacy systems. Sometimes there is no data. Sometimes data is in software A or B and C, and A, B, and C don't even talk to each other. How are you going to overlay AI on top of that going forward, right? So I think from a business perspective, one has to kind of say, where can I leverage AI that drives efficiency versus what do I need more data to build appropriate tools? And from the same perspective, I think building an AI is also, I think of it as 3 layers. There's a core layer, which may be agentic, which may be domain agnostic. There is a skin layer that you use to talk to the core layer, and then there are application layers. I think as one thinks about how you innovate in AI, you have to think about where is the value proposition going to come from. Is it the applications? Is it the communication skin layer? Or is it the core agentic AI layers? And really one has to think about how you optimize your business processes appropriately. What do you want to do as a country or a state in terms of where you want to upskill people? What kind of applications are going to be the key drivers? What industries and what business processes are ripe for innovation?
So quickly,
Actually, in the interest of time, we are going to conclude and get to the last rapid fire question. And you just have to answer this in one word. But before I do, I just want to quickly talk about the Garze Marathi Global again. The membership is completely free. You can just go onto the website and create your profile, and that's about it. That gives you access to almost all the initiatives of Garze Marathi Global. And there is an initiative on AI as well. It's called Maharashtra's Accelerator for the AI. In a short form, it's called MAI. And that in itself is a major initiative. There is a lot of monthly meetings and lot of different discussions in that particular group. So do take part into that. Now, quick.
One more thing I want to add for Garze Marathi is this month at Stanford, Garze Marathi launched Innovation Academy, various training programs right from AI to supply chain management and many other things. So you can please go and check on that.
So the last lightning round quickly. In one word, panelists, tell our audience, AI in 2030 will be one word or one sentence at the most. In 2030 will be?
I would call it assistive or augmented intelligence.
I will say we will not be talking about AI in 2030, just like we don't talk about electricity or computers.
I would say AI will have an access to everything which is physical, including your brain. The only one thing I believe the AI can't do it is your inner voice, because that's not physical. So I would say whether it's a 2030 or 2090, try to see how you can talk to your inner voice. That is where AI cannot reach.
I might just conclude by saying that I can't actually see that far out. I think 2030 is too far out to be able to see what AI will actually do to us. But I do know that it will be the decisions we make today about which direction we take AI in that will determine whether we are going to live in a dystopian reality. And by the way, many, many years before COVID happened, there was a film, a Korean film on Netflix, which showed what COVID would be like, and it happened, and we all lived through it. And I can't remember the name of the film. But I think today's decisions will determine whether we're ending up in that very dystopian reality, and we'll say, oh wow, now there's a Netflix film on this, and then there are many films already that will show what robotics and AI might do to us. Or if those decisions are done right today, and those ethics are central to how we don't let capitalism get the better of us, then I think we will be in a limitless future of possibilities.
I think the only way to solve this as organizers is to get us back again in 2030 to see who was right. I would put my money on me.
Well, thank you so much, esteemed guest, and back to you, Simran.
Thank you. Humble thanks to you all. May I please kindly request you all to join us for a photo op, and to do the honors, request Vijendra Surveji and Vikas Pasalkarji to kindly join us here on stage. And sir, you would like to add on something? Why don't you join us on stage? And meanwhile, while we have the felicitation, sir wanted to say something. You said you wanted to add a point. You can take the microphone and do that. May I please kindly welcome Vijendra Surveji and Vikas Pasalkarji to kindly do the honors and present tokens of love as mementos to our international distinguished panelists all the way from the United States of America and the UK. You can have the microphone. Come, please, you can speak here. You wanted to say something, right? You wanted to add something about AI. Oh, it was a question to our panelists? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to do it during the high tea after the session, next session. Thank you so much. Maybe please have the presentation of mementos. Vijendra ji, Vikas ji, to kindly present it to them. Once again, humble thanks to Dr. Sachin, Devi, Dr. Madhusudan, Attarde, Sanam, Arora. Thank you, it was very special. You really are a trailblazer, the kind of work that you've been doing in UK. And Sachin spoke very high about you as well, Sachin and Vinodji. And of course, very well moderated by Mr. Lalit Shinde ji. Thank you so much. Also the grand announcements they made for the supply chain management and the AI courses. If you'd like to join them at the United States, it's wonderful. So we're going to go ahead with our next panel, ladies and gentlemen. And I know you have a lot of questions in your mind, especially related to AI world. The more we speak is the more knowledge we want to gain. But I apologize as we're going to move ahead to our next panel discussion. But tomorrow, in case you come early, for all those who are coming early, on time, we can have the questions being taken by our distinguished panelists. Whichever panelist is present tomorrow in the morning, feel free to ask them tomorrow in the morning. So, जो भी वक्त पे आएगा, मैं तो वहाँ पे रहूँगी 8 बजे से, but official time is 9:30. But if you want to come and join us by 9 a.m., please feel free to do that. We can definitely go ahead with a Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, our next panel discussion, one photo op with all our dignitaries here on stage, along with our distinguished panelists and our very, very intelligent moderator. Lalit sir, जब तक आपका felicitation नहीं होगा, we'll be here, sir, we'll wait. We have a lot of time to introduce our next panelists. Let's put hands together once again for our very renowned lady entrepreneur, Sanam Arora from NISAU, UK. It's been truly a wonderful day since early morning, and I can see you wide awake and hungry for more knowledge, because that's what the brains are doing right now. Seeking knowledge, getting into thoughts, making sure to put it into action tonight, make your notes, go ahead, have the right connects, the business cards are with you, and we have the fabulous session tomorrow right from 9:30 a.m. to 1. Let me please introduce all of us to our next panelists. May we please welcome on sustainability pathway, challenges and opportunities, the next session on bioenergy. Requesting our distinguished panelists to please join us here on stage. Chief Financial Officer and Chief Sustainability Officer at Landmark Group UAE. One of the most popular renowned groups is the Landmark Group. And as we all know, we have no other place to go than our planet Earth, so sustainability.